During as well talk show, moment unfolded that left not only the host stunned, but also entire audience in deep shock. Two familiar faces, Gutfeld and Jessica Tarlov, found themselves face to face in a hated clash. What started as a calm exchange quickly turned into intense back and forth that changed the entire cosplay of the studio. At the beginning, Jessica tried to put her point across in a composed and cautious tone. She insisted that, in the aftermath of a tragic incident, it is unfair to immediately blame one side without first knowing all the facts. According to her, justice demands patience. All details must come out before any final judgment is made. Her words sounded reasonable on the surface, but as soon as she finished, Gur's expression hardened. Gurk responded intensely, his voice sharp and unwinding. He declared that this was not the time for both sides' arguments. The truth, he said, was already clear. Trying to complicate it further, or declaring the reality was nothing more than misleading the public. With each sentence, his voice grew stronger and the studio air became more and more tense. Jessica, unwilling to back down, attempted to explain herself again. She reminded everyone that history is full of moments where things were not one-sided. To her, it was essential to look at the broader picture. She even cited another example, hoping to support her reasoning, but Gur cut off her abruptly. That is nothing but excuses. This is the same old strategy, bringing up the destruction instead of facing the actual truth. From that point, the discussion turned into a fairy comfortation. Jessica wanted to continue presenting her side, but Gur countered every word with a fierce intensity. He insisted, that's not about politics. This is not about opinion. This is about tragedy. And tragedies like this cannot be hidden behind the narrative of both sides are the same. The rest of the studio fell into silence. Every word carried a weight, echoing the tension felt there. Jessica, still trying to clarify herself, she said she was not trying to shield anyone or deny responsibility, but rather wanted the truth to be seen in full context. If we rush to judgment without all the facts, we risk leaving justice incomplete, she explained softly. Gerg leant forward, his voice cutting through the air like a blade. These explanations are over. People have seen it with their R9s. There's no more room for spine stories. There's no more patience for excuses. The arguments intensified as a girl looked directly at Jessica and said, "You keep repeating justifications that weaken the truth, but those days are gone. Nothing can be hidden anymore. People know exactly what happened." Jessica, still composed but firm, replied, "I am not making excuses. I only believe that rushing to conclusions can be dangerous. We need to see the full picture." But the Gurk raised his hand, gesturing with force, his tone louder than ever. "This is not about perspectives. This is reality, and be constantly questioning it. You are not broadening the truth. You are diluting the pain everyone is feeling." Back and forth they went, Jessica calm yet insistent, asking for patience and wider view, gulp, fierce and unrelenting, rejecting every suggestion for balance or neutrality. Their voices rose, their tones clashed, and the studio became the stage of collisions of two completely different approaches of truth. By the end, it was clear that neither would back down. Jessica held her ground, repeating that justice can only be served when every detail is known. Gur, on the other hand, remained firm that there was no room left for delay, excuses, or what he called the both sides game. The moment left a lasting impression. It was not just a simple disagreement. It was direct confrontation between caution and urgency, between the demand for more information and the insistence that the truth was already undeniable. As the discussion came to close, one question lingered in the air. Is truth something that always requires time, contest, and every angle, or there are moments when the reality is so clear that no further explanation is needed? In the end, this hated exchange leaves us with one passing question: who is truly right? Was Garrett correct in standing firm with his uncompromising stance, insisting that the truth is already clear and no further explanations are needed? Or was Jessica justified in her appeal for justice, arguing that the real justice requires the full picture and every detail before passing judgment? The answer is now up to the viewers to decide whose perspective carries more weight.